Yo, so today we have our roster update predictions for, I believe, June 11th, Friday, June 11th for MLB The Show 21. As always, just because I don't have somebody in here does not mean I don't think they're deserving of an upgrade. And just because I have somebody in here does not mean that they are, no matter what, getting upgraded in the roster update. Going for, I guess, 500 or more likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Comment down below your thoughts on who's getting upgraded, maybe new diamonds, new golds, anything like that. Leave your predictions down in that comment section. I might be live at the time you guys are watching this video on Twitch, Twin Gaming TV on there, links in the description, as well as my Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to follow, be sure to come say what's up over on Twitch. As always, we're going to start with pitching, and then go to the position players. And as always, I only have 10 to 15 guys that I focus on, just because otherwise the videos will be way too long. But first off, I feel like we've been talking about him for a while now, and I know I keep predicting Lance Lynn, but I truly think he deserves to go diamond, and I think this actually might be the week that he does. His home run per 9 is 0.8 compared to 1.4 last year. His hits per 9 is at 5.7 compared to 6.9 last season, and then 8.4 the year before that. He has an insane ERA of 1.23 on the year, and I don't see him getting any higher than an 86 or maybe 87 with how he's pitching right now, but I feel like he easily gets that +1, maybe even a +2, but I feel like he easily deserves and should get the +1 that he needs to go diamond. Now, this is a tough call. I feel like a lot of people, including myself, are not super optimistic about Jack Flaherty's upgrade chances, especially upgrading to a diamond chances, especially since he just recently got injured. But he had a really good 2019 season, struggled a little bit in 2020, at least compared to 2019, and now this year I feel like he's pretty much back to, at least before his injury, his 2019 self. However, I feel like he was potentially deserving of diamond before the injury, so I feel like it still could happen this week. We'll just have to wait and see. But especially because of that injury, I am not super optimistic about it. But he does have 2.9 walks per 9 on the season, only 1 home run allowed per 9 innings, and then 6.4 hits per 9, which is pretty solid, and then a 2.9 ERA. So I feel like he's got a chance to get upgraded, 84, maybe 85, but I wouldn't be super surprised if it didn't happen. Next up, we have Zach Wheeler, and I would be really surprised if he doesn't get at least a small upgrade, right up to 83, 84, maybe a diamond, but that's pushing it a little bit for me. However, he's obviously been pitching well, right? He just got a player of the month card, I'm pretty sure. His strikeouts per 9 is 10.9 on the season compared to 6.7 last year. His hits per 9 is down to 6.4 compared to 8.5 last year, and then 9 the year before that. He has a 2.51 ERA, and I feel like he's a really solid diamond candidate, honestly. At least maybe in a few weeks, right? I feel like this week he's, no matter what, in my opinion, getting at least a small upgrade, 83, 84. But if he doesn't go diamond this week, I think he's definitely someone to keep an eye on for going diamond in the future, and might be more of a solid long-term investment for that diamond watch. Next up, we have Tyler Glasnow, and maybe even more so than Lance Lynn, but in addition to Lance Lynn, I think he might be my other pitcher where I'm surprised that he's not a diamond yet, right? This dude, Tyler Glasnow's been, I feel like, really solid the last few years. However, only thing holding him back at least a little bit probably are the innings pitched. I think it's been a little bit low the past 2 seasons, but he's been solid, man, and especially this year. This year is even more so, I feel like, than usual, right? Strikeouts per 9 for him, 12.4, 79 K per 9 rating, I feel like does not warrant or mimic a 12.4 strikeouts per 9 on the season. I feel like that deserves an upgrade. His walks per 9 on the year is 2.9, so that might be solid where it's at, maybe a little bit boost to there. 1.2 homers per 9. I feel like that's not bad. Could maybe boost that 62 up a little bit. 5.4 hits per 9, okay? That leads the American League, I think, at least for starting pitchers. And according to Baseball Reference, right, he had the little bold symbol for his hits per 9. But 5.4 hits per 9 and leading the American League, I feel like it could even be higher than 91. And then he also has a 2.69 ERA, which is just, it doesn't really mimic any of these stats or go along with any of them, but people like to hear numbers that they're familiar with like that. But because his strikeouts per 9 is at 12.4 and his hits per 9 is at an American League leading 5.4, I feel like just by upgrading his hits per 9 and strikeouts per 9, easily goes diamond. Like, if you take a look at his inside edge, just by giving a +11 to both of those, he's getting up to an 87. So I feel like he deserves maybe like a 5 or 6 boost at least to the hits per 9, and then strikeouts per 9 I think you could easily do plus 11. I feel like that could easily go up to 90, but even if you just boost them by 4 or 5 each, I think that easily gets him to an 85. So that's something to look out for, and I might be investing, you know, right now I actually might go invest in some Tyler Glasnow cards, since he's only going for 3,800 sell now. So that might be a good pickup, try to make a little bit of profit. For the final starting pitcher for me this week, we had a lot of pitching predictions this week, and I'm not sure if Kevin Gausman will go diamond, and I suck at pronouncing names, by the way. I feel like I don't think he's going diamond this week, you know, going from an 82 to an 85. I really don't think so, but he is on diamond watch for me. I will say that over the next few weeks, month or so. On the season, he's got 10.8 strikeouts per 9 innings, only 1.9 walks per 9, 0.6 homers per 9, and then 5 hits per 9, okay? Tyler Glasnow was leading the American League apparently with 5.4, and Kevin Gausman's is better than that. So I feel like Kevin Gausman definitely deserves an upgrade. A 1.27 ERA on the season. All of his per 9s, literally strikeouts, walks, home runs, hits per 9, are all really good on the year. I think you could see a boost to all of those, and I would not be surprised at all to see him going diamond. I don't want to say this week, maybe the next roster update, but like, he's just been really, really good, and he's definitely on diamond watch for me, and I would be surprised to not see him up to an 83 or 84 after Friday's update. I really don't know if Mark Melancon is going to get there, but for me, he's sort of on gold watch. I don't think it happens this week, but just if he keeps pitching how it is, I feel like it could happen. His strikeouts per 9 and walks per 9 are really not that great this season. Now, his walks per 9 is pretty high in the game, so that kind of scares me a little bit for his chances of going gold, but his home runs per 9 on the year is at 0.3. So he's not really allowing too many home runs. His hits per 9 is at 5.6, but his hits per 9 attributes are already pretty high. However, hits per 9 at 5.6 compared to 8.7 last year and 9.5 the year before. So I feel like, you know, maybe you could give him a small upgrade. He has a 0.66 ERA on the season, but I don't know if I could truly see him going gold with where his attributes already are at. But hey, maybe somebody to look out for, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him at 78 or 79 this week. Next up, we have Matt Barnes, and I feel like I'm saying this a ton already this video, but he's another guy where I just don't know if it will happen this week for this roster upgrade. But for me, Matt Barnes is sort of on diamond watch, you know, being an 84, 1 away. Any upgrades probably going to boost him up to 85 at least. But looking at his hits per 9 and his strikeouts per 9 in game, they're already, even though he's killing it this year, they're already really high in the game, right? 105 and 98 right there. But on the season, he has 16.1 strikeouts per 9, 2.4 walks per 9 compared to 5.5 last year and 5.3 the year before. So I feel like the walks per 9 boosted up. K per 9 already 98, 16.1. Could you boost it to 99? You know, I feel like, yeah, but walks per 9, less than half of last year and the year before. 2.4 compared to 5.5 and 5.3 the last 2 seasons. So walks per 9, give him a boost there. And then home runs per 9, you guys can see 71 for that rating. He's allowed 0.5 homers per 9 innings this year compared to 1.6 last year. So more than a third, or less than a third, whatever, less than a third of last year, and then 1.1 less than half of the year before that. So doing way better than the last 2 years, because they do take a 3-year average a little bit. That goes into the stats as the last few years. And then 4.1 hits per 9, which is already 105 in the game, but still room for improvement, right? 4.1 hits per 9 is really good, especially compared to his 7 hits per 9 last year and 7.1 the year before. So I feel like he's just been on another level compared to his previous few seasons, and I don't know if it happens this week. You know, he's been getting upgraded a lot and everything, but I feel like he could easily go diamond, if not this week, in 2 weeks from now with the next roster update. So he's on diamond watch for me, and with that price being low, he might be a pretty good long-term investment if he doesn't go diamond this week. Now on to our position players. We definitely have less position players than I would have liked, but I really only get 10 to 15 players in each upgrade prediction video, and we had a lot of pitching this week. But starting with our first and only first baseman, no catchers this week, we have Yuli Gurriel. On the season, he's hitting 341 versus lefties, 313 versus righties, and then slugging 624 versus lefties, 455 versus righties. So over the last 2 weeks, keep in mind, I know his contact's already high in the game, he's hitting 355. So since the last roster update, he's still been doing really well. And with a 341 average versus lefties and 313 versus righties, I could see his contact versus lefties getting a small boost. And then 624 slugging versus lefties. I think 68 power is a little bit too low for me. So I think he boosts the contact and power versus lefties. I think he easily gets a +1 up to diamond. Next, we have our first and only second baseman for the week, Ozzie Albies. And for me, just like some other people, he's a guy to watch out for. Not necessarily getting anything this week in my opinion, but definitely someone to watch out for on the season. He's hitting and slugging well versus lefties, but not that great versus righties. So you can see kind of mimics that in game already. But just in general, in the last 2 weeks, he's hitting 333, and then in the last 7 days, 440 with a good slugging percentage. So I'm not sure if I really expect anything from him this week. Maybe a +1, but I would say if he keeps playing how he is, definitely keep an eye on him. Could probably pretty easily go diamond. I don't have any third base predictions for the week, but this is our first and only shortstop that we have, Marcus Semien, the lightning card for the player of the month. And if I'm not mistaken, his season started off kind of slow, but he had obviously an insane month of May to make up for getting that player of the month card. In the last 30 days, he's hitting 343 and slugging nearly 600. But with that being said, overall on the season, his average is pretty low versus lefties at 258, and then only 307 versus righties. So I feel like he does have decent power numbers versus both sides, but a little bit better versus righties, and it kind of mimics that in game. So I think he gets a little upgrade, but I don't think diamond just yet. Next up is our first of 3 outfielders, and I feel like Tyler O'Neill has a really good chance to go gold this week. I could be a little bit biased as a Cardinals fan, which is probably the case, but in the last 30 days, last month, he's hitting 323, and then in the last 2 weeks since the last upgrade, which obviously he was injured for a little bit, right? But in the last 2 weeks, 341 with a 785 slugging in the last 30 days and 795 slugging in the last 2 weeks. So I feel like his contact numbers, you know, last 30 days, 323 average, last 2 weeks, 341 average. I feel like you could see a boost to his contact attributes that would probably easily get him the +1 he needs to go gold. So I would not be surprised at all to see Tyler O'Neill go gold this week. If he doesn't this week, then 2 weeks from now, if he keeps hitting how he is, I think it would probably most likely happen. But again, I'm probably biased as a Cardinals fan. Maybe it's because he's on the Orioles, but I feel like I rarely see anyone talking about the year that Cedric Mullins is having. In the last 30 days, he's hitting 330 with a 960 OPS. And then in the last 2 weeks, since that last roster upgrade we had, he's hitting 420 with a 1231 OPS and 740 slugging. So this dude's been going off last month especially, and then especially the past 2 weeks. And as y'all can see, if he gets a little bit of a contact and power boost to lefties, he easily gets to silver. So I see Cedric Mullins going silver. I feel like it should happen this week, and I feel like it's a safe bet that he does. Now for my final prediction this week, and I might be crazy, but I think Ketel Marte was injured at least for a part of this year. I think he's back now, but I want to say he was injured. Correct me if I'm mistaken. But either way, on the season, in 18, I know it's a small sample size, but 18 at-bats versus lefties, he's hitting 556 and slugging 11-11 with an OPS of 1690. And then in 71 at-bats versus righties, he's hitting 338 versus them with an 855 OPS. And obviously, especially with the lefties, these are a little bit smaller of sample sizes, but in my opinion, he's definitely somebody to look out for. Now, as y'all can see, his contact and power are higher versus lefties, but if he keeps that slugging up versus lefties, power needs to go way up. And then in general, I feel like his contact versus righties could easily go higher. 338 average, I think that definitely needs a boost. I don't know if it's enough to get him to diamond just yet, but I could see him getting a small upgrade this week up to an 84. I definitely think it could happen. And that's going to be it for my predictions for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I meant to mention it at the beginning. I don't think I did, but I definitely want to get these videos up earlier in the week. I know getting them up on like a Wednesday when the update comes out on Friday usually isn't the best, especially for people trying to make stubs off of it, you know, invest in some players and everything like that. But with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy it nonetheless. Like, comment, subscribe, social medias, leave it in the comment section who you think is getting upgraded or even downgraded this week. I know I really only focus on the upgrades, but I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out.